Hi there, thanks for stopping by today. My name is Luann. In today's video, we're going to be learning how to make real butter out of just 2 cups of cream. Well, welcome to my kitchen today. I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to be learning how to make real butter out of just 2 cups of heavy cream. Now, this heavy cream can be store-bought, it can be from your local dairy, it can be from your own dairy cow. Any way that you can acquire some heavy cream will do. Now, all that you're going to need for this, again, is the 2 cups of heavy cream, and you're going to pour this into a stand mixer. Now, you can make this with a food processor, a blender, but this is the way that I do it in my KitchenAid. It doesn't have to be a KitchenAid. Again, the goal here is just to agitate this cream enough that it's going to break down and separate the buttermilk from the butter. Now, if you've ever made whipped cream, this is the same process. You're just going to put it in your mixer, you're going to turn it on, and you're going to let the magic happen. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you just how easy it is. Okay, we've got our cream in the bowl. I would recommend that if you don't have a splash guard, you're going to want to have a towel, because as this cream starts to separate, it's going to start splashing and it's going to get messy, but it's very worth it in the end. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Okay, here we are at a little over 3 minutes. Now, I will say that if you use store-bought cream, it's going to happen a little faster. For some reason, I've found that using raw cream, it takes a little longer. I wanted to show you what it's looking like right now. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that down in there, but it is just now starting to separate. There's a little puddle of buttermilk there. But I'm going to put this back on high and let it go for probably at least 2 more minutes. Now, before we let that go any further, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of salt. The ratio for salted butter is a ½ teaspoon per cup of cream. And a lot of people like to wait and work this in later after this process is over with. But I like to go ahead and let the mixer do the work. Now, this will salt the buttermilk, but I already have some buttermilk, so I'm just going to go ahead and discard this batch. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough. And now, if you haven't added the salt at this point, you can drain the buttermilk off, and this will be absolutely delicious in your next biscuit mix or pancakes. Okay, so now that we have our butter separated, what we're going to do is take some very cold water. This is actually out of my refrigerator, and we're going to wash the butter. And all that's going to do is squeeze out the last little bit of buttermilk. The more you get out, the longer your butter is going to last. Now, all I'm doing is kneading and squeezing. Some people use a spoon. I like to use my hands. But you're just going to squeeze that, and what we're doing is washing it. You want to work that water all the way through it. Just squeeze it and knead it. And then when your water gets cloudy like that, you're going to go dump it and do it again until your water runs clear. Okay, you can see here, I think you can see how clear that water is. So this butter is now washed and ready. Now this is the point where a lot of people like to salt their butter because you're squeezing it anyway, but I like to do it when the mixer's going, and then of course this is going to finish mixing in anything that didn't get distributed evenly. And so now when you get all of that water out of there, just squeeze it the best that you can. Remember, water and oil don't mix, so it is going to come out. And I'm just going to set this aside, and I have this little container that is airtight. And I'm just going to push that down in there. And this will actually mold it into like a very wide stick. You can dump this out onto a plate and keep it on your counter for a couple days, or you can actually just put a lid on it and store it in the refrigerator. I'm going to say store it in the refrigerator in an airtight container. This butter will be good for you to use for at least 7 days. Okay, there it is. Homemade real butter using only 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And I think the key ingredient in this whole recipe is just patience. If you're going to use raw cream, it may take a little longer than the store-bought. Also, remember, room temperature works best. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll go ahead and do so because I would love to hear from you in the future. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!